I feel lucky to still be here, especially now. Every year that goes by, every day that goes by is another gift. I feel like if I can keep making the show better, if I can keep changing, if I can keep it being an adventure and exciting for people, then this is also a big gift, you know. So yeah, it's very, very grateful and sort of humbled that I'm still here.
Les habla copiloto iniciando ya el descenso hacia nuestro destino, donde esperamos tomar, aterrizar en 20 minutos a partir de ahora. A nuestra llegada lo pueden ver a través de la ventana del avión, cielo totalmente despejado, una temperatura de 21 grados y viento prácticamente.
Hiya, I'm Roisin Murphy here in Ibiza for IBIZA. We always wanted to move here, and it was always in the future. And then when the pandemic came and the second lockdown, we decided to come here. Obviously, we very know the island well. Anyway, the house that we live in, my partner has had that house for 25 years. It reminded me of my childhood, being here with my children. And in London, it's more difficult. You are more isolated. It's a very big city. It feels like if someone leaves the other side of the city, it feels like a world away. And it feels like here, like Ireland too, in that if I'm stuck somewhere, you know, or my children are stuck, we need to get somebody to pick them up. We have friends here who will do that easily, you know. I mean, my favourite memories of clubbing, I mean, I've been to every kind of club you could think of, really. I lived through many different genres exploding within club culture and so on. But my fondest memories are Sheffield, really, where I was there. That's where I started doing music. That's where Moloko started. And I was there from the age of 19 to 29. And we had like a family of DJs and producers and people who made the artwork and the design around the stuff, and people who built studios and people who started labels and it was all very DIY, and it was very hard to not meet people who were doing something for the music culture. And it was a smaller community, and as I said, everyone was doing something to create from the ground up what the scene would be and become, because there wasn't anything, it had to be made. And those are my fondest memories, the best parties, the best music, the best people, the most wonderful fun. And I found it hard to find things that only occasionally in the world and all over the world, you know. But occasionally I have found things that feel like that, but not very often. Just not why I'm here. I mean, I go now and again, occasionally, very occasionally, I go to Pacha. I mean, I had a very funny night about a year ago in Pacha. But well, you know, it was hard. It was hard finishing Moloko also, extremely hard, and not knowing if I had done the right thing at all in making the decision to just go with music, you know, when I could have been an architect or something, you know. Really, I always thought that I would be something creative. So I had many phases. I thought, in the beginning, I thought just artist. And then sometimes I thought I would be an interior designer or a fashion designer or an architect or a filmmaker or photographer. But it was never, I'm going to be a lawyer or a doctor. It was always these creative ideas that from being a child. But never a musician either. I never thought I would do music. Being a diva for me is a little bit abstract for me. I'm not sure if I am a diva, although many people think I am. But because it sort of makes out that you don't, I mean, I'm a very hard worker. I sort of think of myself like that before anything else. I'm just tough, hard-working woman, really, before I am a diva, for sure. I definitely don't think that I've had a very luxurious career. It's been one of a lot of hard work and dedication to the writing and the creating, because I mean, I do everything I create. I do the video direction, for example. I do my own styling. I do the creative direction of the artwork and photography and the live show. And so my hands are very dirty for a diva. I think it can become very boring when most artists come from rich family. You know, then it gets a bit boring, yeah. Not that you have to be poor to be a good artist. You know, many fantastic artists came from very, in the old days, only people who could be artists were from very good families, you know. But there was a period, yes, that I lived through the end of that period, where you didn't have to be, and other voices were given a chance, and it was a very rich cultural moment. The first thing I said to Mark Bryden is the first thing I said to him was, "Do you like my tight sweater?" And I was saying it to many people that night. It was a thing. It was a thing that was just going around in my head because I was wearing a tight sweater, and we fell in love that night. And we also recorded me saying that. He had a studio. He was partnership in a big studio called Fawn Studios that they had built. And he took me there in the middle of the night to record this phrase being said. And we fell in love. And I find humour very sexy. I find really seriousness not interesting. And we were very much reacting against the idea that to be serious, you had to be serious, you know, which the 90s were very much like that at that time. I try not to think too much into the imagining the future. There's probably less future now than there is past, if I think about it. But we'll see. It's a hard time to be an artist, I think, at the moment anyway. Not just about specific things, but, you know, somebody asked me today, do you think you will censor yourself when you're writing songs now? And it's a big question, because actually I do wonder, because it's about a year since I wrote songs. And I do wonder how that, not just that, but how the world is now, you know. Are there things that I read, are there things that I think, are there things that I say in private that interest me that I can't let people know about? Probably yes. And I've never been in that position as a creative before. And I'm not the only one. I mean, there must be so many artists.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Rosen.
Is that all there is?
Do you want podcast?
Yes, please. If that's all there is, then just keep dancing. Forget the blues.